Hello everybody, and welcome to episode 39 of This Old Knit. I am your host, Nina, otherwise known as Ine on Ravelry, Instagram, and Pinterest. And you can find show notes for this episode and all previous episodes in the Ravelry group, This Old Knit. Thank you everyone who's here. For those of you who are just joining me, this discombobulation is very normal, and for those of you who've stuck with me, you're wonderful. Seriously, you're amazing. So I have not done a lot of knitting over the past week. If you follow me on Instagram, you'll know that I have been working a ton of hours at work on a project, and I had to have that done by Monday, and so I and one of my team members have been putting in roughly 16-hour days for about 2 weeks, and Friday we just decided to power through rather than working on the weekend because her daughter had basketball tournaments all this week, and obviously we've been neglecting our families to work that many hours because there just aren't enough hours in the day. So we finished Friday night at about 12:30. I came home and we both said, I'm going to sleep really, really hard. So I slept until probably 10 o'clock a.m., which my husband actually commented on that I never sleep in, ever. No matter how tired I am always up by about 6:30 without an alarm. So the fact that I wanted to sleep in at all, and I actually slept through he and my children getting up and running around and doing stuff, is just a testament to how tired I was. So then I got up on Saturday, and obviously the house is kind of crazy because I haven't been here. So I decided I was going to clean the living room. Big mistake. I got about half the living room clean and I said, wow, I'm really tired. I'm going to go lay down again. I slept another 6 hours and woke up at about 5:30. So even more irregular for me to, one, take a nap, and two, for the nap to be 6 hours long. If I do take a nap, it's usually around 30 minutes or so. That was crazy. And today I felt better. I felt more like myself, but I did take a nap, so I got up at my more normal time, and then I had promised Meg when I'd come upstairs and play with her, because she declared today was Love Day, where nobody can do anything naughty and everybody is cooperative, which I like this holiday, and I think we should have it more often. But anyway, I'd promised I'd come upstairs and play some game with her. I don't remember what. But we were sitting in the bedroom, and I said, I just couldn't stay awake. I was talking to her, and I felt like I can't even continue this conversation. So I asked if I could have a little nap, a one-episode nap, which is about 30 minutes. She has, like, Wild Kratts is her favorite show. So she said she would go watch an episode of Wild Kratts, and I just crashed out again. So I feel almost like I'm jet-lagged. I told my husband, am I pregnant? This is really weird. So the only other time I was tired like this was when I was pregnant with Joshua, but pretty sure I'm not. But I also don't ever stay up that late. I don't stay up past like 9 p.m. on a typical basis. 10 is kind of pushing it for me. So staying up till midnight over and over and over again, and not only staying up till midnight doing something fun, because sometimes I'll stay up and chat with my husband and knit and watch some stuff with him. But I also had to be very focused and actually do work. So, excuse me, I do have a little bit of a sore throat. So yeah, it took a lot out of me, and I'm glad I have 2 days to kind of recover and get things back together. Probably not going to have the house cleaned up, whatever. Just working on trying to have clean clothes for tomorrow. So I am drinking some very, very delicious salted caramel, yummy caramel tea by Bigelow. I believe that this came in a package from JPV84 on Instagram. And it's fabulous. It's very, very tasty. So most of what I'm going to show you this week is what I'm lovingly referring to as aspirational knitting. So I could not knit, and I would just sort of stare longingly at my knitting, and I posted that on Instagram, and I was very amused by how many people agreed that they do the same thing when they're at work, and that pretend knitting totally counts, or imaginary knitting. So lots of aspirational knitting this week, and I have several projects that I have picked out yarn for and thought about and dreamed about how they were going to look. And yeah, so hopefully life will get more back to normal. I have a lot of things I need to catch up on just in general life. I need to get new glasses. My glasses are very scratched up. I can't see out of them very well, and they sit on my face crooked. I need to get my hair cut. It's about 3 inches longer than I usually keep it. I have a filling I need to get done in my tooth, but no time for any of that. So I'm hoping that we'll get more back to normal at some point. But you all didn't come here to hear me complain, blah, blah, blah. So I will start with what I've been working on this week. So mostly what I've been knitting on is my shawl for the No Makers Cal. That is still going on for all of February as well. So it was January and February. Whips are allowed, and it's just knit anything that you would like to knit in No Makers yarn, because I love No Makers yarn, and I have a lot of it. So this was Cottingson's idea, actually, to host knit-alongs with my favorite dyers, because it'll help motivate me to knit with the yarn that I have, and also introduce other people to the fabulous yarn of these yarn dyers. And I am co-hosting the No Makers portion of the Cal with Sarah of the Love Sock Wool podcast. And if you haven't checked out her podcast, please do. She's hilarious, and she just posted a new episode called Friday Crazies, I believe. Sounds like my dog is into something downstairs. Everybody's asleep in my house right now. Just as I was very exhausted, my husband is also very exhausted because he had the children all week with absolutely no relief from me. So I get that that is very draining as well. But he said that they were very good. They didn't really have any super bad episodes, so that's good. That helped me feel better, at least that I wasn't totally neglecting my family. So I actually just put this on a really long cable because it was so squished up. I was on a 24-inch cable, I think, and it was crazy. It was starting to be very annoying to push the stitches, and it was all bunched up. So now it's all spread out, and you can see that it's grown considerably. So this part is going to be very stretchy, the drop stitch pattern portion. And this is the Lalo shawl by Shannon Cook. And it's garter stitch portions on the sides. It's all garter, so only knit, which is great. Very, very easy, but very pretty. And then this part has this lovely drop stitch motif. So it's almost a hexagonal shawl, but I think it's going to be really cool. So it'll, I'm going to keep going. I'm actually at the point now where the pattern tells me to switch to my contrasting color yarn, but I actually want to use all of my No Maker's Doppelganger. So I'm going to keep knitting until I've run out of this, or we could do it this way. So it's going to be a massive shawl, which is exactly what I'm looking for. Oh, Webus woke up. Poor little guy. We're going to go to the store and maybe go out for dinner once everybody's awake and showered and dressed and all of that stuff. So that'll be fun. This color is the Gnome of the Lake colorway, and it is in the House Gnome base, which is the only base that she does in the Doppelgangers. So she does the House Gnome, and then she does the worsted weight version. I can't remember what it is off the top of my head right now. So this one was this color, the Gnome of the Lake color, and picking up that deep teal color. And this one is called Deep Blue Something. It has random little seeds on it from my granola bar because it was in my bag. And I had a granola bar next to it. So this will be the color along the bottom. And it's going to be really pretty. I'm enjoying it a lot. I will say that House Gnome isn't the softest yarn to knit with up front, but I know from experience that once you wash it, it softens up beautifully. So don't let that turn you off. And it's very hard wearing as well. So that's that. And that, like I said, that's really mostly what I knit on this week. Which I have made a lot of progress, but it takes a long time to go across one row. At this point, I think I have like 390 stitches or something on the needles, as you can tell by the fact that this is a 60-inch cable needle, or a 60-inch cable. I used this to knit blankets. So I'm using my Knit Picks interchangeables in a size 4. And I actually need to change the bag that this is in because I have it in this little bag, which is really better for socks. It's not going to fit in there anymore. So I'm going to change it out to a different bag. But it works for showing you. Sorry, I'm going to take another sip of my tea. I'm actually going to take that tea bag out of there so it doesn't get too bitter. It is a black tea, so... the next thing I've been knitting on, which I think is my only other WIP for this week, is I started a new cast on. So this, if you recall, I was talking about using the My First Regia and making a striped set of socks. So I cast on for those once I woke up from my sleep coma. And I'm doing the cuff in the white or off-white color. And then I'm actually done with my cuff at this point, so I've done 20 rows. And then I'm going to start striping in this. So I'm thinking I'm going to stripe 2 stripes this, 2 stripes the off-white. And I have 2 balls of this and 2 balls of this. So I'm going to do cuffs, heels, and toes with the off-white color. And if I need to get more, my yarn store had a lot of this, but they did not have any more of these. So that's why I'm using this as the contrast. That's it. Not very interesting, huh? At all. I get it. Not very interesting. I did bring up my blanket. I think I did maybe a couple of rows, but I didn't show it last time, so I do have a stitch marker on it from last time that I showed it on the podcast, which I will move after I show it to you. So I just have this much left of the ball that I'm currently working on. here to unwrap it. And this is definitely not a travel project anymore. But what I've been doing is I've been knitting on it at night when I'm getting ready to go to sleep. So I get a couple rows in on it. It's very relaxing because it doesn't take a lot of concentration. It's just 10 stitches back and forth. And I'm getting ready to do another mitered corner here. So I have done, since I last showed it, from this stitch marker right here across to here. So again, it's massive at this point. It's completely massive. And I love it. It's great to knit on at bedtime, like I said, because then it's kind of draped over me and it's warm and cuddly, and yeah, it's just a really enjoyable knit. So that pattern is the 10 stitch blanket by Frankie Brown. I'm moving the stitch marker while I'm talking. And I'm knitting it in Cascade Eco Duo in, I believe, the Thunderstorm colorway. I don't remember because they don't have names on the ball band. They only have the number. So I looked it up a really long time ago when I ordered that one extra skein, but now I don't remember. Because oddly, when my local yarn store owner, Karen, had to order it, she has to order it by the name, but then they've got numbers on their ball bands. It makes no sense to me. But anyway, neither here nor there. So that's that guy. Put it back away. And the other day, Megan was laying on the couch, and she asked for a blanket, and my husband brought her a blanket, and she said, I didn't want a scratchy blanket. I wanted the soft blanket, like Mommy's blanket. So she was like angling to have my blanket on her. So it's already being requested as the favorite. And it fits very nicely in my Bird Leg Bags bag from my mom. She got me this for Christmas. It's gnomes, which I adore. I love gnomes and I collect gnome stuff. So yeah. So before I move on to acquisitions, I thought that I would review the prizes for the cow because I haven't shown them in a while, and if people are just joining, I actually need to still put pictures of them in the thread, but I'll make sure that I do that. So for one of the prizes, I have this Mega Grab Bag mini skein bag of No Makers yarns. So it's just a mixture of all her different yarns. I see Camping with Hippos in there. This is the Blue Jeans colorway. Yeah, Camping with Hippos. There's a Dobby in the front. There's a Firefly. That's the colorways. Decepticons or Eric Winsher. I'm not sure. Those look really similar.
I like the Firefly.
Yeah, I have more of that, honey.
It's glowy.
It is glowy. Some, this is either ham or bacon. I can't remember which one. Christmas ham or the bacon from the Eggs and Bacon. And there's a couple I don't recognize. This is one of her Christmas colorways. So it's just a mix of stuff. Lots of different yarn bases. There is her tweed, the sparkle base. Looks like some house gnome. And I think there is some fancy gnome in there. Or the one that has the alpaca in it because it's a lot thicker than her other bases. And it's this one. You know what alpaca is. It's one of those animals that's got the long neck and the really cute little fur top on their head. We've seen them at the fiber show.
No, the yarn alpaca.
Well, it's made from that animal's fur.
Oh, so that's why it's called alpaca.
Mm-hmm.
But do hippos even have any fur?
No, I don't think hippos have fur. They might have some hair.
But then why is one called
Camping with Hippos?
Mm-hmm.
I think it's just a funny name for the color.
Yeah.
That's not actually the base. It's not hippo yarn. Not a hippo base yarn.
But Mom?
What?
That blue stuff kind of looks hippo-y.
That one's tweed. It's like the same stuff I made your sweater out of.
Which one is Camping with Hippos?
This sparkly one.
Ooh, kind of hippo-y.
a little bit. Okay. So that's one thing, and I haven't decided if I'm going to combine that. I probably will combine it.
There we go.
And then I have a tape measure, a No Makers tape measure.
I think so. Yeah, this will be good.
And then I have the 2016 calendar of Yarny
Yeah, this is my
Goodness.
stuff.
So, I mean, obviously you won't get it for January and February, but you'll have the rest of the year to enjoy
Oh,
it.
there.
And I actually take calendars that have yarn stuff in them, and I cut them up to use for cards because they're made on this really great stock paper, so you can reuse them that way. Just cut them and then put a blank piece of cardstock on the inside, and then you have a fancy schmancy card.
Can you podcast me?
Okay, everybody, we had a little break. Megan is watching Shrek up here. She woke up from her nap, but I think everybody else is still asleep. So I'm hoping that I'll finish up before the sun goes down, because this, I'm in the nook and it doesn't have very good overhead lighting because there's no light in this part. It's a little gable of the house. Okay. So I think I was finishing up the prizes. Another prize is this lovely bag, which was donated by Coddington. So she sewed this and another bag that she let me pick between. So I picked the little bit larger one just because I do want to make a lot of larger shawls this year, and also a couple sweaters. So I think that'll serve me a little bit better because I don't really have a lot of sweater bags. The bags that I do have are sock size, and that's the size I know how to make. So, and they can easily be made with fat quarters. So anyway, this is kind of a medium-sized bag. It's a little bit bigger than a sock bag. So I would say it would fit like a shawlette in it. You potentially could fit, I bet you could fit a small sweater in here. Like if I was a knitting sweater for one of the kids, it would fit in here. But it's very nicely lined. It has boxed bottom, this very nice strap, and of course a yellow zipper, which I think is fabulous. So that is another prize. And then the last and most awesome prize is a $25 gift certificate for the No Maker shop, generously donated by Amanda, who is the dyer behind No Makers. So she donated one to my group and then one to Sarah's group as well. So thank you so much, Amanda. I really, really appreciate it. And yeah, feel free to cross post in both groups. I think there are some other cows going on that you might be able to double dip in as well. Mina from the Knitting Expat podcast actually has a really great thread in her group where she's trying to keep track of all the cows, and I need to go and make a post on it to talk about our cows so that she can link to it. But that can help you find other places that you might be able to also enter your project to try and win prizes, because we all like prizes, right? So yeah. So then projects in planning stages. I have a few. Mostly shawls. That's kind of what is on my brain right now. I will knit some sweaters, but I'm just not in that mode yet.
I'm working out.
All right, take 5. The first shawl that I've been thinking about is one that was gifted to me. So Kristen from Volenvine Yarns, who hosts the Yarngasm podcast, gifted me the Across the Pond shawl. I kept thinking Highland Peaks. The Across the Pond shawl by Mina Phillip, who I've mentioned, hosts the Knitting Expat podcast. And I was thinking that I would do that with my other No Makers doppelganger. The only thing that I'm worried about is that I may not have enough to do it, because it is a fairly large shawl and I may not have enough of this, which I can't buy more of because Amanda doesn't separately dye the semi-solids. She only dyes them with to go with her variegated yarns. And you can only get them in the doppelganger sets. So even if I did buy another doppelganger set, it wouldn't necessarily be even close to the same color. So that does concern me, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to send Mina a PM and see if she thinks that this will be enough to knit the Across the Pond shawl. This part will be plenty to knit the body. It is exactly what's called for in the pattern. But this skein, when she does the doppelgangers, I think Amanda includes like 300-ish yards of the contrasting color. So that may not be enough for the edging, the lace edging. So I'm going to see and ask Mina what she thinks. If it's easily modified, maybe I could do the body part a little bit longer and the lace section a little bit smaller. I don't know, but I would like to do that with these. So we'll see what happens. But that's my first idea. My second idea is another shawl design of Mina's. It's the Highland Peaks shawl, which she just released, I think, in the last week or so. Disa and I were talking about knitting it together, which we both have a terrible case of cast-on-itis right now, so I'm also doing a knit along with her of the calligraphy cardigan, which I have not worked on at all. But as I said, I'm just not in a headspace for sweaters right now, so I thought maybe a shawl would be more my speed. So anyway, she has a really pretty skeiny dunker of the No Makers tweed, and I think she's going to stripe it with matte Tosh, either Tosh Sock or Tosh Merino Light. So it's kind of a purpley color. I'm guessing it was a skeiny dunker from the Blackberries tweed, because my mom ordered 2 skeins of the Blackberries tweed and it looked kind of similar to that, but a little bit lighter. So if I do that shawl, I think I'm going to use these 2. And I have 2 balls of this. And this one is Spark Story, which I haven't heard a lot about this dyer in quite a while. But it was really popular with a lot of podcasters for a while, and I got this skein, which I don't remember what the colorway name is, but it's speckled, so I don't know if you'll be able to see it, but it is this pale blue, but it has speckles of the yellow, some kind of turquoisey blue, and then these pops of a dark blue. So I think this will bring out the yellows in the yarn, and it will also get rid of some very deep stash for me. So I think I got this in 2005. It's Lorna's Laces sock yarn, and I feel like it's maybe Sunshine or something like that. I don't remember what the colorway is, but it's a very buttery yellow, so yeah, I think those are going to be really pretty together as a striped shawl. And then I would use this yellow for the lace edging of the Highland Peak shawl, and then maybe bind off with the blue on the edge. I don't know, I might just leave it all solid yellow because I really, really love yellow. It's my favorite color, but it doesn't look particularly great with my skin tone. So I have to mix it. I can't wear it alone. I have a splinter under my fingernail. That's going to be unpleasant to get out. We were playing outside in the yard today for quite a while because it was very warm. It was like 58 degrees today, so almost 60 degrees, which is super, super warm. That is about 10 degrees Celsius. No, that's wrong. Subtract 30. It's 28 divided by 2. 14. 14 degrees Celsius, roughly speaking. So for wintertime, for us, that's crazy warm. So we went out with just like fleeces, light jackets, shawl, The kids didn't even have hats or mittens on, and they were having a great time. So we just explored all over the yard. The kids rode in the wagon for part of it. They played on their swing set. They collected sticks and other stuff. So Megwin had me record a video of her kind of showing you around. And I posted some different stuff on Instagram too. So that's my second idea, Highland Peak Shawl by Mina Phillip. I'm in a Mina Phillip mood, apparently. The winter camp that I'm in with the Canadian Knitter podcast, Two Tangled Skeins, and I'm not sure who else is part of it as well. But one of the featured designers for next month is Mina Phillip. So you get bonus points for knitting one of her patterns. And then the last idea that I had was these two together. So if you remember in the last podcast, I showed you that I acquired this as a mystery skein from Kristen's shop, Wool and Vine Yarns. And it's this really pretty navy blue tonal with sparkle. It's the blitzed base, so it has stellina in it. And then I was thinking, what the heck am I going to make with that? It's really pretty, but I just don't know what I'm going to do. I made a shawl before with one skein of the blitz base, and I used every single inch of it. I had about that much left. And I find it a little bit small for just wearing on its own. It's great for wearing like as a scarf or a shawlette, but for kind of wearing as like a piece, a feature piece, it's smaller than I would like. And Megwin has pretty much claimed it anyway. So then I was looking on Instagram, and Andy from the Andre Sue Knits podcast posted a photo of one of her finished shawls, and it had a navy blue and kind of a paler blue with it. And I thought, wait a second, I have that skein of Christmas yarn in Special Snowflake, and that's what this one is. Whoops. Which I showed on the podcast a while ago because I got it around Christmas time. It's one of her Christmas yarns, but you know, it would work for all year long. So it has some greens, a little bit of red, and then just like icy blue, some navy blue, and a little bit of purple. So I think those would be really, really pretty together. And I think with these, I'm going to knit the Table Mountain shawl by Sally Jane Cameron, who is the host of the Pink Hair Girl Knits podcast. And if you haven't checked that one out, please do. It is fabulous. I love it. She podcasts with her daughter, Rachel, and I am now catching up on back episodes. I think I started watching it around episode 16. So I'm catching up on all the episodes previous to that. And I think I've got maybe 2 or 3 more at this point. So she's really great. And she podcasts from South Africa, Cape Town. So that's a really good podcast to check out. And she has this really, really beautiful shawl that she knit in yarn that's based on colors in the King Proteas, which I didn't even know what those flowers were called, but apparently they grow wild there, so that's where they're from. And yeah, it has like the body is a textured pattern, and she did it in a variegated yarn, and then it has an applied border, which is a solid color on hers, and I really, really like that look. So I want to do that with these two. And she said it did take all of her yardage, so I would need 2 400 plus skein, 400 plus yard skeins. So these are each 435 yards. So it should be enough. And it's a very large shawl as well, which, as I said, I'm enjoying very large shawls. And I think that'll be really pretty with a lot of the clothing that I have. So yeah, I'm really excited about that one. I think this will be my March-April project when we're having our Wool and Vine portion of the Favorite Dyers cow. Or the Prettiest cow, as I was calling it, because I have a lot of pretties from Wool and Vine. It's sort of shameful. I think I have maybe 10 or 15 skeins from her. It's a lot. It's a lot. So I need to start knitting with it. I really do. Because I love her yarn. It's so fun. And I'm almost done with my Octopus Garden socks. So I may finish those up because I want to cast on a pair of socks for my husband. The only thing I'm a little bit worried about with this is that the Volca base is very, very plump. And the Blitz base is actually a little bit finer fingering weight. But I mean, since it's the edging, it should be fine to have the two different textures. Sarah actually mentioned this on her most recent episode of her podcast, that she finds that yarns that have stellina in them tend to be thinner, and I agree. They do. They tend to be a lot less plump than yarns without sparkle. So sorry, Disa, I know you don't like sparkles, but yeah, this will be really pretty. It'll be kind of fancy. All right, so moving on, because I'm running out of daylight. Daylight's burning, literally. Okay. Acquisitions. So my No Makers pre-order yarn came in, and it is beautiful, as it always is. So I'm gonna try to not crinkle too much, because it did bother me when I did it on the last one, so sorry about that. So the first one that I got was the Lovey Dovey in her sock weight. This is actually on Fancy Gnome, which I've never used this base before, but it looks really plump and it's so soft. It's crazy soft. So it is an MCN base, so 80% superwash merino, 10% cashmere, 10% nylon. This is one of her Valentine's Day colorways. I think she just put up another update in her shop, and that is the last one she's going to have Valentine's Day yarn in for another year. So she only does like 2 shop updates that have Valentine yarn, and then done. So this was a new color for this year, and it's funny, Sarah and I got exactly the same yarns from her. Different bases, but we got exactly the same colors. I said we were yarn twinsies. So it's really pretty. It's got like maroons. Obviously, I think it's pretty. I say that about every single yarn, but I wouldn't buy it if I didn't think it was pretty, right? It has random sparkle in it. It's more of an antique cream, coral, and very dark, deep red. So I really, really like it. I'm going to make the My Cup of Tea socks with this. I've made one pair with of those before. I'm actually wearing them, oddly enough. So it's got this fun lace panel on the front, and then the back is plain. And these are my favorite pair of socks. So I would like another pair in that pattern. And I think this will be really great yarn to knit it in, because it does well with variegated. So that's my first one. And then these are actually my mom's. She got 2 skeins of the Blackberries Scruffy Gnome DK. So those will be going to my mom. And then I got a skein of the Mint Chocolate Chip DK Scruffy Gnome, which is the Tweed DK. I haven't used this weight before. I've only used the sock weight Scruffy Gnome, but this is very plump and nice. And my plan is to knit this into a pair of thrummed mittens for me. I have no knitted mittens for myself. My mom made me a pair 2 years ago, and the kids lost one of them. So I don't have any knitted mittens right now. I have a pair of like acrylic fleece mittens that I've had since I was in high school, and they're still old reliable, so I wear those every day, but I'd like a pair of hand knit ones. So I'm going to use this and then make my thrums out of this. So this is some natural colored BFL that I have from a show I went to several years ago at this point, but it's a little bit felted on parts of it, so I'm actually going to remove those parts And that's what I'm going to use for the thrums because it would be a pain in the butt to spin. So I'm just going to use it for thrums instead. There's several thrummed projects that I want to make. I want to make a pair of thrummed mittens for Megwin as well, and then my husband would like a pair of thrummed slippers for wearing with camping and stuff. So I'm going to use this for all the thrums for those, and I think it's going to be really cool. It's going to look like the little chocolate chips in the ice cream, and mint chocolate chip ice cream, incidentally enough, is my favorite flavor. So, yep, now I can wear it on my hands. It's going to be fun. So that's that guy. Very, very pretty and squishy. It's so squishy. Okay. And this fiber was just from a random local farm, so, you know, I've just had it for probably too many years at this point, and it got a little bit compressed because I didn't really understand that I shouldn't compress my yarn or my fiber when I store it, so it's probably partly my fault on why it's felted. And then last thing I got was a skein of the Bad Bunny in Squishy Gnome. So this is the new colorway that Amanda released this year, and it matches with her Little Bunny Fufu colorway. So I got it in the Squishy Gnome, which is her worsted weight base, and I'm going to make a Bonbon Bunny with it because Megwin still needs a mommy and a daddy for her two fairies, her two smaller fingering weight bonbons that I've made. So this one will be the daddy, and then I still have the Little Bunny Fufu worsted to make the mommy. I made her a pair of mittens out of it, and the Bonbon Bunny only takes half a skein, so I used about half a skein for her mittens, so I should be fine. And then I've got to order the bigger eyes from the 6060 Eyes Etsy shop, because I have the 9mm and the bigger worsted weight bunnies need the 12mm eyes. So I will do that soon, and I'm hoping to have this cast on and maybe knit in time to put in Megwin's Easter basket. We'll see. Depends on the work stuff, right? And then I got a little mini skein of Bunny Butt, which is just a natural. It's an undyed of the same base, the Squishy Gnome base. And it's just enough to make the tail for the Bonbon Bunny. So I'm going to use this one for the Bad Bunny, and then I actually have left over from the sweater that I wore, I think a couple episodes ago, the 50/50 Angora wool blend that I have. I have a little mini skein, probably about this big, of that left, and I thought that'd be fun to have a little fluffy bunny tail. So I'm going to use that for the other bunny tail. And the sun has officially gone down, so I know I'm almost out of time. I think that is everything that I had to show you actually for this week. So really good timing on that. Oh, nope, I had one more acquisition. So Martha from Tuft Woolens finally had an update. I know she's been doing a lot of shows and stuff, and when I met her, because she lives really close to me, we met for coffee one time, and she said that her soaps actually take about 6 weeks to cure, so it takes a long time for a batch to come off for her. And she had some special stuff for Dia de los Muertos. And of course, since I lived in Mexico for a while, I had to get some. So I got the hand and body balm of the Sugar Skull scent, and it's really yummy. It's kind of a little bit candy, cotton candy type smell. It's very sweet, so if you're not a sweet smell fan, it might not be for you. But it has cocoa seed butter in it, lanolin, coconut oil, beeswax, shea butter, and essential oils. And so I have one of those. I got 2 vanilla almond, which I use this all the time. and now I have one for each of my knitting bags. And then one of the people on my team broke her foot, and she's always talking about how she loves the way my hand cream smells. So I'm going to give her the other one that I bought, and I'm going to knit her a washcloth, because she also said that her mom either had a friend or one of her aunts used to knit washcloths for them all the time, and they use them for everything, and hers are starting to fray, and that person has actually passed away, so she doesn't have any way to get more. And so I thought I'd knit her a washcloth and give her a little vanilla almond hand cream to help cheer her up, because she's going to be off her feet for a couple weeks because she had to have surgery on it, and then she had the cast and everything. So so that's what the other one's for. And then I restocked up on Sock soap. So I got the Red Currant scent, one of the Sugar Skull scent, and then I got one called Campfire, and I was thinking it was going to be kind of marshmallowy and maybe a little piney and stuff. It smells like what you smell like if you are sitting next to a campfire, so I can already get that from all of my family going outside and burning things in the backyard all the time, because they love to have fires, and it actually bothers my allergies a little bit. So Martha was very, very sweet. She said, that's fine, you can exchange it. So I'm going to exchange it for one of the rosemary mint ones that she has, which I know that scent is great. It's not going to bother my nose at all. And thank you so much, Martha, for letting me do that. So hopefully, if one of you don't have the wonderful ability to go out and burn things in your backyard and you like the smoky, woodsy smell, then this is the soap for you. I think it would be great for guys, maybe, who don't want a little more perfumey of a smell. But yeah, I'm just really sensitive to scents, and that one was just too strong for me. So that's everything I've got. Hoping that I will be able to do some more knitting this week, but it is month end again for me, and you all know that that's a busy time for me as well, so not holding my breath on that one. But as long as I'm not working till midnight every night, I call it a win. So I hope that everybody has a really, really great week. Thank you for taking the time to watch and to comment in the group and to chat with me on Instagram. I've really, really been enjoying getting to know all of you, and I'm really excited and looking forward to getting to know all of you more. So until next time, I will talk to you soon. All right, bye-bye. What are you guys doing?
Hi, we're out in nature, and I want to show you something that you have to be careful with if you're a kid.
Where are you going, Joshua?
Now this is a bag. You want to be careful if you're a kid. Grab onto the table. If you have one of these, climb it if it tips over, but grab onto the back handle and make sure that you don't slip. Because if you slip, there could be a rock blew up, and you could hit your ankle or face or butt on it. So when you climb down, if there's any rocks on it, jump over them, step over them, step on them if you're brave enough, or just pick them up and throw them somewhere else.
Okay.
This is cool.
All
Now,
right.
come here. This is my baby tree. Is it mine?
Yeah, this is the one we planted when you were born.
That's my baby tree. Kind of a teenager. Almost a big tree like my mother and father. They live way above her. She's almost a big, full-grown tree. And if she even has a tree hole long enough for me to climb in, I'll climb in and probably sleep there for a couple of days.
Okay.
Like a raccoon, but still not the baby.
All right, let's keep going.
And
I want to see what Bubby's doing too.
These are my favorite hiding places, the bean dam and these sticks. It was where a bird nest was. Daddy accidentally knocked it over.
Uh-oh. All right.
And
Should we go check on Daddy and Wubbus?
Now, come here. I want to show you a couple more things. Oh, yeah. These
Well, we need to stay in our property, sweetie.
You don't need to. I go here all the time.
Yeah, but they're showing the yard right now. There's people looking at it. Come on.
Now, here is the beaver lodge. Love
It kind of looks like a beaver lodge.
it. Kind of does.
It's all the stuff that the people next door cut up and then left there.
It kind of looks like a beaver lodge, but it's
It does look sort of like a beaver lodge, doesn't it?
I like
Oh, Webbus, what have you found? Oh, Joshua, did you find a tiny stick? Yes. Woo!
Come here and let me show you something. It's incredible.
We're both wearing red shoes. Those stylish people wear red shoes.
Hey, Mom.
Yes?
I want to show my guest the
Okay.
3 yellow mushrooms on this wall.
Oh, yes, I
This is
see
what I
them.
like to do on the wall.
Let's go close.
What? Watch me.
I bet Diesel would like those because you could use them for dyeing stuff, maybe. I don't know.
Yeah. but
Yeah. What?
I want to show our guests that I like to climb on.
Mm-hmm.
Beep, beep. Beep, beep.
Good climbing.
And most of the time, I go inside.
Oh, you go inside. Don't get around on that too much because I think there's some poison ivy vines somewhere in there. I don't want you to get all poison ivied up.
I found a little
Or even
present
worse
for
in the
a
winter when
fire.
it's dead.
I found a little present for a
Okay.
fire just for Dad. This.
Okay. What are you doing, Webbs? You're sitting there looking.
Look, people are-
Trying to obstacle course.
We're going in there. Not stop.
He's gonna go over to those people. Oh, maybe he's going over to the thing.
I think it's going over the thing.
Yeah. Whoa! Oh, buddy, no! You alright?
I think there's a groundhog living in there. There's a groundhog living
You're
under
picking the
ground.
most. Okay.
No? Come here, Mom. I want to show them my favorite thing.
I was watching what Webbs was doing.
Now I'm going to show you my favorite thing in the
Oh,
whole
look, the
entire
puppy that was
universe.
Aw. Okay.
It's a very long walk. Often you are wearing barefoot outside. Make sure you don't step on prickles or anything else. Prickles, and if you want to rub nails, be careful. You probably don't want to wear nails at all. And because it's thick, because it's a bit smooth, you might have to get the nose and needle with
Yeah.
but with pinches of it, it's kind of wet. Now, over here,
What is this broken bowl?
something broke it, like a deer.
Okay.
And this is my garden.
AKA your mosquito nest.
I didn't need to go.
That's gonna grow mosquitoes, sweetie. It's fetid water.
Well, maybe we should just pour it out.
We probably should.
Let's pour it out right now.
Okay.
Now, here's the thing you should know about when you pour it out when you're a kid. Just tip it over and let the water all drain out.
Let's just leave it like that so it can drain. It's gonna take a while. Alright, should we check on your birdhouses?
Come here. I want to show you my favorite birdhouse that I made. It's out of it. Now come here and I'll show you the space down on the inside. This is the inside, warm and safe with plane and stuff. This is the
Mhm.
inside. And this is my bird feeder. I mean, they did the bird picture and
Mm-hmm.
the name on
Yeah, they ate all your seeds.
it. And all the worms I put in there so
Oh, you
far.
put worms in there too? That was a good idea.
Yeah. all the worms I put in there to ground from the
Are you gonna be
yard.
cold? That wind is really strong.
Come here, come here.
Okay.
Watch out for the wind.
It does block the wind a little bit. Let's go in between. Here. That's a good one. Right there.
So pretty windy.
Yeah.
Come on, we have to find some sort
You
of
probably
circle.
need a jacket. Oh, looks like Wubba's is swinging. Alright, should we stop?
Hey, Mom.
What?
Let's go and show. I will. Put the. You can turn off the video.
Okay.
We're done.